But that game from Darius Slay, that is one of the I'm trying that is one of the best games I've ever seen from a cornerback in the modern era.
And a very good morning, Birds fans. We appreciate you getting up and streaming in with your boys, Mac and Mac, Jody McDonald, and John McMullen, who told me before the show, Jody Mac, you got to bring the energy today because I worked till way too late in the morning. I said, Johnny Mac, could have been worse. Could have been 24/7 Viking, completely dominating the Philadelphia Eagles, because that's exactly what the Eagles did to the Minnesota Vikings. A dominating win last night.
Yeah, completely. And I disagree. They couldn't have dominated the Eagles. I mean, that wasn't even close. Yeah, that was an impressive performance, both sides of the football, to the point where, you got to really look for things to complain about. The only thing I can come up with is the penalties, the illegal downfield stuff, the rub routes they still can't run. So you're nitpicking. Long term, it's about, all right, is this a really good team? I don't know. It's a good team. Or is Minnesota really bad? I don't know. They might be. So, but I mean, you can only play who's in front of you. And the Eagles completely dominated that game. I mean, the final score is not even indicative. That was a complete beatdown on both sides of the football.
The first half was utter domination. Eagles did whatever they wanted on defense, and the Minnesota Vikings did nothing on offense. It was just lopsided in the mano-a-mano, head-to-head, individual matchup, team matchups. It wasn't really even close. Second half, when Noah Tungi missed that block on the field goal, and the Vikings got the ball deep in their own end, you say, can they really make this a game? We've been kicking their rear end all around the field. Can they do that? No, they get a big stop, interception, and the ball goes the other way. So, you talk about checking boxes. Last night, the Eagles checked basically every single box. You're right, except for the couple of need to work through the timing of those passing routes with the offensive lineman trying to get a head start.
That bothers me. That bothers me for one reason, Jody. It's year two. I mean, they had all kinds of problems with that last year. That's why that bothers me. But other than that, I mean, Jalen Hurts we're going to get to was phenomenal. But that game from Darius Slay, that is one of the that is one of the best games I've ever seen from a cornerback in the modern era, where you're not allowed to do anything, where things have shifted, everything's tilted towards the offense. I've never seen anything like it. He was, even the completions he gave up, he was an inch away from getting a pass break. He had 5 pass breakups, to the point where I'm saying he had a chance at 5 interceptions against a guy who threw 6 interceptions last season. In a full season. It was unbelievable the way Darius Slay played against one of the best receivers, mainly in football. He didn't travel completely with them, but most times when Justin Jefferson was outside, Slay was on him. Unbelievable performance from Darius Slay.
And part of that was give credit where credit is due. I know a whole bunch of people in town don't want to do any of this for this guy, Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, yeah. He's not the word. We know he's not.
Now, wait a minute, Johnny Mac, because you get on the Eagles' case for lack of innovation. We know at their core they are a zone defense. They went man a bunch last night. They brought guys off the edge, and you can't be sitting back in the zone when you're bringing 2 extra blitzers. You better believe you're playing man-to-man. They showed you a little innovation on defense last night.
No, they didn't. That's how they play defense. The whole goal of this defense, and I don't know how many times I've said it, is to get in 3rd and long, and then you can do what you want to do. If it's 3rd and 2,
so you can't be innovative on 3rd down. 3rd down's a given?
No, I'm saying it's baked into the defense. Like when you don't get 3rd and long, Yeah, you're not going to see the blitzes. You're not going to see the attempts to get the
They brought
football.
blitzes on second down, Johnny, last night.
I mean, I have to rewatch the game, but my overriding point is JG as a whole. I mean, people overreact. Let's be honest. When you have a bad game on the road in Detroit in a difficult environment, they're going to overreact the other way and say he's changed things. He didn't change anything.
No.
This is a defense. This is a defense. You don't change. We talked about this yesterday on the show. You don't change things from week 1 and week 2 to the NFL. All this is baked into the defense. The defense, I mentioned it yesterday with using the Bears as a reference. It looks really aggressive when you dominate, like when Khalil Mack and Nakeem Hicks were out there. It looks tremendously aggressive, but it's the same stinking defense. That's all I'm saying, Jody. And from the other perspective, you saw it as Eagles fans from a team that was really struggling, and receivers are running open and blown coverages, and you saw those difficulties from another team's perspective running a very, very similar scheme. That's all I'm saying. When the players play well, yeah, and Nick Sirianni says this all the time. Show me a good coach, I'll show you good players. You know, if Javon Hargrave and Fletcher was really good last night. If they played like they played in Detroit, the Eagles wouldn't have looked good. They didn't play like they played in Detroit. I just meant Slay always plays well, but he took it up another notch. What I'm trying to say, because we're going to get this. Well, I don't know if you're good. You'll probably get it on WIP, and I'm going to get it. Oh, Gannon changed. No, he didn't. The Eagles played better.
Well, I'm going to give him more credit than that. I'm going to say that he did a massive change, throw the whole defense out, create a new defense. Of course, they didn't do that between
That'd
week
be
1
great
and week 2.
if he could do that one.
Right. It's impossible. He pushed the right buttons at the right time. And he did bring extra guys on a second down. They had a great blitz on second down. Guy got to the quarterback untouched on the second down. Now it was second and long, and it very much looked like a passing down, so he dialed it up correctly. Yeah. He guessed right. It wasn't a hard guess, but he did guess right. Yeah, he brought more standard operating procedure. Jonathan Gannon has now been the defensive coordinator for 19 regular season games, 1 playoff. That's 20. He doesn't usually blitz as much as he did. Now, the score and the situation certainly is going to dictate it, but he was a little bit more aggressive. And I'm going to give him credit for being willing to pull a plug on that, because he could have just as easily as gone, let's sit back in our zone. We're up 17 points. Don't give up the big play. Keep everything in front of us. No, he went after Kirk Cousins a little bit and forced Cousins into a couple of mistakes. I thought of you last night because the Eagles had a couple of plays where they didn't get a sack, but they got very good pressure. They forced Cousins to get rid of the ball before he wanted to. That ended up in either incompletions and or interceptions. That's where your hurries, that's where your pressures actually do pay off. I don't give people credit just for pressures if the quarterback completes an 18-yard pass. So what? You were close. You don't get anything for that. Oh, they did last night, because a couple of times it absolutely curved off Viking drives and made Kirk Cousins look bad.
Yeah, I mean, they played well. You know, they get more aggressive on second and long and third and long. I mean, to me, this is all logical. Look, I used Jordan Davis, and nobody's complaining about Jordan Davis. That's what I was looking at real quick. 21 snaps. Now, what happened yesterday is, I think it was 22 in the opener. 21 snaps yesterday. What happened yesterday is they stopped. You know, there's no DeAndre Swift running for 9 yards a carry, running for 50 yards. They stopped the Vikings on first down. They couldn't run the ball at all. They overcorrected, which I assumed they would. They dominated in the run game. All of a sudden, you have second, third, and longs. You can do different things. Davis isn't on the field. Nobody's complaining. Yeah, and that's the difference between winning on first down, losing on first down. You saw it. The defense didn't change. That's all I'm trying to say, Jody. He didn't come out with a new defense. That's all I'm trying to say. Eagles played better. He probably coached better. They certainly had a good game plan for Kirk Cousins. I've never seen Kirk Cousins play that poorly, to be honest. He was throwing the football up for grabs like it was Sam Darnold in the fourth quarter. Never seen it. They deserve all the credit in the world. All I'm trying to say is these people that are going to say he changed the defense in a week, no, that's not how it works.
No, he didn't. But I'm going to give him credit for a little nuance. That there are little alterations you can make in the body of a game, and I thought he did last night, and I'm going to give JG credit for that. But and you've already given a ton of credit, rightfully so, to Darius Slay, who was just unworldly last night, shutting down supposedly the best receiver in the National Football League. And then there's Jalen Hurts. Johnny, you and I do this show every single day. As a matter of fact, today would be the 365th time we've done it. I think you and I have been together for about 350 out of 365. You got to get to practices and go to games and stuff like that. Every once in a while, my alarm falters. But you and I have done about 300 out of the 365 together. And we've talked about it here on the show. I talk about it on WIP. You've written columns about it. Oh, you can't improve your accuracy. You are what you are. You can't improve your arm strength. Jalen Hurts is what he is. He's never going to be good. I've heard this way too many times, and I've tried to fight it off, and sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. You sure as hell can improve your accuracy. You work hard at it. You get the right kind of tutelage. You put in the hours. You get on the same page with your wide receivers. You can improve your accuracy. That's exactly what Jalen Hurts has done in the first two games this season. He is a way more accurate passer than he was last year. So where are all those guys who said, oh, you can't? You are what you are. You get into the league. Your accuracy is your accuracy. Whoever gets better, despite the fact that Josh Allen did the same exact thing, whoever gets better in their accuracy when they get in the NFL, Jalen Hurts, because he was about as accurate as you could get last night, Johnny Mac.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jalen was great. I mean, that's, sort of an old trope among scouts is you're not going to get accurate at the NFL level, meaning not that you can't get more accurate, that if you're not accurate, you're not going to become, one of the most accurate passers. And everybody points to Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean, Jalen's worked really hard. You can work on your mechanics. The Eagles have never had a problem with his arm strength. They don't have a problem with it.
Neither do I.
No, nor should you. Now he doesn't have the Elway barbed rifle, but who cares? You do. But from the accuracy standpoint, yeah, there's so many things that can come into it. Nick Sirianni, second straight week said, he's in total control of the offense. He looks like it. He looks like he knows what's going on. Yeah, better receivers. I mean, those guys were open, Jody. I mean, the separation
was Quez open on that long pass?
Oh my Lord! I'm like, here's the thing that bothers me about.
I think I could have completed that one.
Yeah, I'm not trying to downgrade what Jalen did because he was phenomenal, but yeah, when the receivers are that open, you should make those throws. That's the problem I have with this scheme. It's like you're trying to stop explosive plays with all this zone coverage, and you just blow the coverage. I mean, what is the point? And we see it all over the league. It's not just Minnesota. You saw it with the Eagles in week 1. You saw it with Baltimore. You saw it with all these teams losing big leads. I mean, what is the point? If you're just letting guys run by you on the back end. So that's what I have a problem when the Eagles struggle on defense. That's what I have a problem with. Blown coverages, things like that. As far as Jalen Hurts, look, this is who he has. I mean, A.J. Brown's always open. Devontae Smith is always open. Dallas Goedert's always open. These are big-time receivers. Big-time receivers. And Minnesota couldn't deal with any of them. And then, You have Quez Watkins, and that's what Quez Watkins is going to be. He's not going to get a lot of volume, not going to get a lot of traffic, but if he can make impactful plays with the targets he does get, that's going to make this offense even better. I mean, the guy threw for, I think our buddy Shield Kapadia said it. So he threw for 300. He rushed for over 50. He completed over 80% of his passes.
Rush for
third time that's happened. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen are the others. So it's a new era in the NFL. Different types of quarterbacks. It's not necessarily has to be old school Peyton Manning full field progression. That's not what the Eagles do. It's tough to stop. I've been saying it for a number of weeks now. It's tough to stop.
The full field progression guy was the quarterback who threw 3 picks last night.
Yeah,
not the guy in Eagle Green. And yeah, for those of you who were worried about Devontae Smith, he's still going to be a stud star wide receiver in this league. Just because he took a goose egg last night did not write his career story.
Week 1, he did 7 for 7 last night. 7 for 7. I believe.
He was great. Jalen was great. The defense was great. Everything was great. And you know what else is great? Our first guest is going to join us. As I mentioned just a couple minutes ago, this is the 365th episode of Birds 365 for your Mac and Mac guys. Our very first episode, we had 2 guests on. The first, I don't remember who came up first. I think our next guest was our first guest.
I think Joe was first. Yeah.
I believe. And our second guest was Easy Ed Kratz, who was Mr. Game Day Kratz with us yesterday. We try and get Eddie up on the day that the Eagles play or the last game we're on the air during show that we're on the air during the week leading into a game. So we had Ed on yesterday on 364th show. Today on our 365th, we're going to bring back Joe Santoliquito, who writes for basically, I think, every publication here in town. Certainly for us here at
JAKIB Sports. Yeah, gotta throw that out first.
He touches base everywhere, and he touches base with us here on Birds 365 when we ask him to. So on our 365th show, we're going to turn it back 364 and bring back Joe Santoliquito, JAKIBSports.com. He wrote a game story for us last night. It's on JAKIBSports.com right now. You can check it out if you want, or you can just stay tuned. Joe Santoliquito joins Mac and Mac on Birds 365 next.